We love plants, they transform a space. Give us something to nurture and make us happy. And we love the snake plant. This one is phenomenal, it's super tough. Slick and slender and slithers to the ceiling. But it doesn't bite, promise. Let's dive into it. It's this snake plant. Known to scientists as Sansevieria tripachata. Okay, I'll stop. This is one of the easiest plants to grow, and it's basically indestructible. I highly recommend this for beginners. And some people call this plant mother-in-law's ton, which is just mean. Don't call it that. I mean, not if she's around. These leaves are super stiff and tough, and these stripy patterns are gorgeous. I love the way this one is framed by these yellow edges, and these things can get so tall, which is just insanely cool, especially if you're really trying to fill out a space. So before we can pot our snake plant, we have to make sure we have the right soil. For this plant, we really want a loose, well-draining soil. You can mix in some sand or perlite to help get that effect. Or you can do what I'm doing and just use an all-purpose cactus potting mix. Now that we have our potting mix, we really want to be careful not to use a thin, weak pot. These plants have super strong roots that can crack a pot that isn't up to snuff. I'm gonna use this nice sturdy one. The best time to repot these plants is in the springtime, but you only need to do so if they've grown significantly. Snake plants are usually slow growers, so you likely won't have to do this annually. As always, if you do repot, make sure to use fresh oil. This looks great. One of the coolest things about this plant is how easy it is to propagate, to make new baby plants from the original. If you see a new shoot developing in the soil, you can simply go ahead and pot it individually. And if your plant is getting big, it's very easy to divide it during repotting. You can also propagate with cuttings, although I think just dividing them is a lot easier. Snake plants are drought tolerant, which is great if you're the forgetful sort. In the winter, you should only water about once a month, or when the soil is dry to the touch. If you're not sure, err on the side of underwatering. Too much water can kill these plants. While you don't need to water frequently, make sure you always water thoroughly enough to ensure that the water reaches the roots. A good drainage hole should prevent any risk of root rot. Your snake plant will thrive in a warm spot. Between 70 and 90 degrees Fahrenheit is ideal. It'll do well on a floor table, anywhere that isn't drafty. Stink. Plants aren't picky about sunlight and can survive in bright direct light or in almost dark corners. Steady indirect sunlight is their favorite. You might not expect this plant to have great vibes, what with it apparently reminding people of snakes and mothers-in-law. But it actually has some great health benefits. Plant scientists demonstrated that snake plants can remove harmful toxins, such as formaldehyde and benzene, from the air. Do make sure, however, that your pets and kids don't eat it, as it can make them sick. And that's it, you now have a big, beautiful plant that will be very hard to kill. Your mother-in-law will be so proud.